What's going on, man? It's your boy Butler, man. So in one of my other stories, I talked about, some of the things or one of the things that, kind of assisted me in pursuing my career as prisoner of the state. One of them was uh in 1996, I was involved in, man, one of my friends died, man. I'm gonna go into the story. What I didn't realize is that the story is actually it made national news. Um, let's go see if we can't. Here it is, right here. So this is the Los Angeles Times. Don't do that, bro. Get that out the way. So the Los Angeles Times says, "Are y'all serious right now, bro? Don't do that." There we go. Stop it. All right. So construction worker electrocuted. So I'll tell the story from how I remember it taking place. And so I was working with Bonds. My uncle Emory Brown owns a roofing service. We was working. It was 1996. The Olympics was coming to Atlanta for the summer, and there were a lot of mishaps. There were a lot of things that were just simply overlooked. A lot of rushing, a lot of money being spent. Mind you, I had just dropped out of high school, so as opposed to working with my uncle on the weekends and in the summertime, now I'm working with him full time. And I dropped out in 1996, and I was working the summer of 1996. But anyways, so the construction worker. Okay, long story short, um, we was downtown working, and there's this wire, there's this pole covered in rubber, and it is on top of the roof. It's on top of the roof. And myself and my uncle, no, myself and Bonds, we're about to pick this up. My uncle tell me to step back. My uncle and Bonds pick it up. Bonds is he's probably maybe in his 30s, white guy, one of those nuck if you buck white boys, transmission changing white boys. Like when I got kicked out of my mama house, Bonds was like, "Man, you can come stay with me out in Conyers." At the time, Conyers was like a long ways away, so that didn't work out for me. Nevertheless, Bonds used to come pick me up from Woodridge every day. Shouts out to Bonds. Rest in peace to Bonds. Now, his real name is Scott Dawson, but I didn't realize he was 30 years old. But here we go. So, let's see if I can make this smaller so y'all can see it. Boom. Then move that over a little bit. I said move that over a little bit. Stop playing with me, boy. Bam. All right, now a construction worker died and another was injured Tuesday at Atlanta after copper tubing. See, they were handling touched a power line on the roof of a building under renovation for use during the Olympics. Bro, when that wire when my uncle Emory and Barnes picked up that wire, I mean that copper, one end hit the telephone pole. Bro, when it hit the telephone pole, we just heard downtown, we just heard a big boom. It's like one of the loudest sounds I've ever heard. And then smoke was everywhere. And then after the smoke cleared, bro, I saw my uncle. My uncle was laid up against like on the roof. The roof is modified, but then there's brick all the way around. My uncle is up against the brick, and he has his ring finger is burnt. You can smell his skin burning. His bracelet is burning his skin. The keys in his pocket is burning the hole in his leg. And then Bonds is just stuck. So you got this copper wire, and sometimes you got like poles that are coming up through the roof, and Bonds is stuck in between that copper and that pole, bro. And I'm looking at Bonds. Bonds is a guy who is like, Bonds is good people. Bro, I'm looking at Bonds, man, and his headband catch on fire. His headband catch on fire and his hair catch on fire. And he passed away. He died right there. You know, the crazy part is this. This is what really stuck out to me, bro. This is gonna seem crazy. Y'all gonna think I'm doing the most. But July the 10th, 1996. Bro, you know my dad died this year. Guess what day he died on? He died on July the 10th. I don't do numbers. I don't do superstitions. I don't do none of that goofy stuff, bro. But in my mind, I'm like, bro, I almost died. And the irony of the situation is he technically was died. He was technically dead on July 9th. They pulled the plug July 10th. But here's the thing. That says July the 10th, which means that it took place on July the 9th. All right, so Scott Dawson died at Grady Memorial Hospital on Tuesday morning, said Fulton County Medical Examiner spokesman Randy Haney. Emory Brown. Emory Brown's my Uncle Emory. So, damn, Uncle Emory was 52 when I went to jail. So, when I came home, he was 62. Damn, Uncle Emory like 82 years old, man. Well, I'm going to be interviewing my Uncle Emory tomorrow. Of Atlanta was in stable condition at Grady's burn unit Tuesday afternoon, hospital officials said. I did go to the hospital to see my uncle. And he was laying in the bed and he was still talking shit. Here's a man who just lost one of his best friends and had electricity run through his body. And he is talking shit. The most I know is that an employee carrying a piece of metal pipe contacted a piece of a power line passing the building, said Bob Ardezzoni, an investigator with the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration. We don't even know the reason behind it. I wonder if we could sue. OSHA and city officials were investigating the accident. Jose Castro, a framing worker, was on the roof when the accident happened about 9:10 a.m. Somehow those wires touched the electricity and a big explosion happened. I told you. He said a sign on the 3-story building advertised it for lease just in time for the Olympics. Ain't that a bitch? Jaquez Baez, who answered the phone at the number posted on the sign, said his partner, Eli, was responsible for the project and could not be reached. The electrocution is the latest in a series of accidents at pre-Olympic construction projects last year. A light tower at the Olympic Stadium collapsed, killing a construction worker and injuring another. 2 steel girders fell at the swimming arena in March, but no one was injured. In May, a piece of metal tubing fell and wounded another stadium worker in the head. A woman accused of taking more than during the Olympics was jailed on the... What the fuck is that? Meanwhile, dozens of reporters, several agencies, including the Los Angeles Times, the race to find rooms. After a hearing, what? Housing, that ain't what we on, bro. We're trying to find out about bonds. Y'all tweaking. But yeah, man, there you have it, bro. Let me see if somebody else. What happened with Richard Jewell? What happened at the Olympics? Olympic worker electrocuted. Let's see if they got more information. It's probably the same stuff. I wonder if I could have used this to get out of my... probably not. All that happened, bro. I dropped out in 1996. Started working in 1996. Born died in 1996. And then I pursued my career of the dumbest criminal in the world, or in the state of Georgia at least. A construction worker was executed today when copper tubing he was handling touched some power lines as he renovated a building for use during the Olympics. The worker, who was not immediately identified, died after he was rushed to Grady. No, Barnes was dead right there, bro. Barnes died right there. Y'all got y'all time and stuff, but Barnes died. He died right there. Man, rest in peace to Scott Dawson, man. But yeah, that He died right there. I seen that with my own two eyes. Worker killed on game site. Construction worker. They keep saying that we was roofers, nigga. Construction worker, copper tubing. They were fallout in oral history of the Olympic Park. Oh, that's something totally different. Monument worker. Cliff made his incredible journey from Eric Rudolph. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna just Google his name and see what come up. Scott Dawson. We got Atlanta, 1996, and see what come up. 19 Memorial, damn. I wonder if they got a picture of him. Damn, that's his grave site, bro. Oh, so it's in Arkansas. Dawson. 1965. July 9th, 1996. Bro, that was it. Damn. Damn, bro. Rest in peace to Scott Dawson, man. Rest in peace to Scott Dawson. All right, man. We out, man. Y'all get in the comment section, man. Let me know what's going on, bro. Shortly after this, I got pulled over trying to drive my uncle's truck through a roadblock. Got arrested. Came home. Started robbing. Then went to chain gang. These are the days of our lives. I'm out.